Hey guys, good morning. We have Mark chapter 12. We're going to be finishing that up this morning. And we have an excellent section of scripture that's going to give us one of the keys, honestly, to how God's kingdom functions and works and how he views that in which we give to the Lord. That's a pretty cool thing. And looking forward to walking you through it. So here we are in Mark chapter 12, verse 41. Says, Now Jesus sat opposite of the treasury and saw how the people put money into the treasury. And many who were rich put in much. And so he was noticing something on how they put the money in the treasury. This is kind of cool to see what he was looking at. Right, he was looking at the posture of a person's heart. Right, how were you approaching the treasury as you were giving to the temple? In this case, he's watching them, and rich people were certainly making a scene. Obvious in terms of how much they were giving, they were bringing, whatever that might have looked like. Now you could have understood that it wasn't just the money; it was also going to be the goods and things which you might have farmed, animals, all kinds of things. So if you were wealthy and rich, you would have a lot of stuff with you. But in many cases, people would come with a great measure of pomp, hoping that people would see them and how truly pious and religious they are, how much they love God based on how much they give. And it was kind of a scene that would play out. And this would be something that would have played out really for some of these people, maybe just a couple times a year there at the treasury. So they're bringing a lot. And he's noticing the rich people and how much they're bringing. Then they had a poor widow, and she came and threw in 2 mites, which made a quadrans. And so he called his disciples to himself and said to him, Assuredly, I say to you that this poor widow has put in more than all those who have given to the treasury. So she showed up, this poor widow, and she throws in 2 small mites. I mean, this wouldn't have hardly been enough food for her, or buy enough food for her to even survive on for a day. And if she was a poor widow, we don't know exactly how she got it, but she came and had a different heart. Right? She wasn't there for everyone to watch what she was doing. She wasn't holding up her 2 mites and celebrating her gift. No, she would have probably walked up, and the posture of her heart would have been one of true service to the Lord, desiring to give that which she had to him. And so she offers up just these 2 small mites, which would have just, it would have been less than $1 in our day. And he says this in verse 44, For they all put in out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put in all that she had, her whole livelihood. Now, I like this because in verse 43, he said he called his disciples to him. He didn't make this big scene either. Jesus was going to teach them one of the keys to the kingdom. Now, the first thing is that he does say that the rich gave out of their abundance. This doesn't mean that giving out of our abundance is a bad thing. It actually is a blessing. Like, we should be able to give out of that which is given, and as the Lord may bless you, you continue to give, and that is still a measured thing of the heart. But in this case, he says, you know what? You're seeing all this, and you're seeing the hearts of people putting things on display. He's like, guys, I want to tell you something. I want you to know that this lady just gave more than every single other person, because she didn't give out of the abundance or the extra or the excess, which wasn't wrong, but she doesn't make a scene of it. She gave out of her poverty, and in all that she had, her whole livelihood. That she gave 100%. Not 10% the tithe, but she gave 100%. Even though it may have been 2 small mites, it was 100%. This is what she had to live for that day, and that's what she gave. And as a result, she likely went without a meal. She may have gone without, some other important needs. But her heart was in the right thing, where she's like, I want to give everything I have to the Lord. And so this is so important, right? As I get to share with you guys. There is such a blessing as we give to the Lord, right? It's not a matter of just doing it because we always do it, but rather we have to see it as, and the one that God really, we see he's responding to here is the one who gives without any sort of expectation. Also, one who gives out of their livelihood rather than out of the abundance. And also one who is willing to give, kind of in this case 100%. Now that doesn't mean that this is always a financial deal. This is a matter of the heart, right? If you just give out of the abundance of your heart and a little bit of time, energy, effort, perhaps resources, like that's still a good thing. But it's not the highest measure of giving. Honestly, when we give, he says we should give out of a pure heart, right? Really excited and blessed that we can offer these things up to the Lord. And that's what he blesses. And what I have seen in Jessica and I's life is that as we have given to the Lord, this is everything, right? This is going to be our time. He increases our time. This is going to be our finances. He takes care of our finances. This is going to be of just our energy. We seem to have enough energy. All those things you learn that you can never outgive God because God has given us 100% of what we have already. And when we do that, there's this honoring, this blessing, and just a sense of sacrifice. It is worth it. If we do whatever we do, give whatever we give for just one more to be transformed by Jesus. And then you step away and it's like, there's no amount of time, there's no amount of talents, there's no amount of resources that is even comes close to what the Lord has done for me. And as I give and I get to see people's lives change, I am so blessed that I get to be a part of just one more. So be encouraged, be challenged, check your heart. Where are you at when it comes to giving of things to the Lord? Your time, your energy, talents, resources, all those sorts of things. Where are you at? And you know what? If you're giving out of your abundance, great. But there may be a capacity for you to give out of your livelihood. And that is one of those things that is such a really cool place because he'll always, always, always provide that which you give back. So love you.